CCleaner, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to speed up your Windows 10 operating system from the back end, which means we're not going to be doing the obvious things like adding more memory and that kind of stuff. So we're going to be working with the actual operating system itself, and I'm going to do this as quickly as possible. So here we go. So in the little search bar down here, type in control, and it'll say control panel desktop app. Click on that, go to system and security, go to system, and from there go to system protection. And in here we're going to go to our C drive where Windows 10 is installed, and we are going to create a restore point, system restore point. Now just hit create. I already did mine. It might take a minute or two, and then it'll say the restore point has been created successfully. You hit OK, and that's it. So this is just in case, as we're going through, if you need to revert back, you can click on system restore and go back to a certain point in time. So there's before changes. And so let's get out of here. Now from here, look at your installed memory. Now I have an oddball amount here, which is 13 gigabytes. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the virtual memory. And what that is basically it uses the computer, it uses the hard drive to provide extra memory to the computer. So if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Just go along here. Go to Advanced System Settings and go to the Advanced tab and click Performance. Go over to the Advanced tab, click Change, and uncheck the Automatically Manage Paging File Size for all drives, and go to Custom Size. Now depending on how much physical memory you have, your number is going to vary. So whatever that number is, open up your calculator, and what you're going to do is type in 1024, which is actually 1 gigabyte. So you can see that I'm lagging a little bit here. So and we are going to times that by 13. Oops. Let's see here. Times 13. And that's really what my memory is. And then we're going to times that by 1.5. And that number comes out to 19968. Now that's for me. 19968, 19968. And then we click set, and we hit OK, and we hit OK again, and there we go. So we hit OK, and we're good. So if you were to have only say if it said 12 gigabytes of RAM, you would do 1024 times 12 and then times that by 1.5, and then you would type in that number instead. So let's go back to Advanced System Settings, and I'm just kind of checking off my box here. So we increase the virtual memory. Let's go back to Performance, and in here you see the visual effects. Now I always do adjust for best performance, and even something simple like this, I just leave the show thumbnails instead of icons, because even when you're using anything that's using a lot of graphics is still going to eat up memory. And then you would just hit apply, and let's see what happens here. So you won't see a big difference here, but you will notice things in the boxes and so forth, and this will actually save you a little bit of memory. So we'll check that one off, hit OK, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go to what's called msconfig, Now for this, hold your Windows key and hit the letter R. Type in msconfig and hit OK. Now what we're looking at are background services, so things that are starting up with the computer. So we're going to check the hide all Microsoft services and see what's starting up. So for the time being, I'm going to uncheck this NVIDIA. If you don't know what it is, then don't uncheck it. But if you know you don't need it to start up when the computer starts up, then do that. Then do this. So I'm unchecking these. I don't want them to start up when the computer starts up. So I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to hit OK, and we're going to exit without a restart. So the next one we're going to do is hold the Windows key, hit the letter R, type in regedit, yes, and what we're going to do is go to HKey local machine, software, Microsoft, scroll down to Windows, we go to current version, and we go down to run. This will show us if anything else is starting up in the background. If nothing's starting up in local machine, go to HKey current user, do the same thing, software, Microsoft, go to Windows, same thing, current version, and go to run. And we see that OneDrive is starting up in the background, which I don't use OneDrive, so I don't need that to start up when the computer starts up. So I'm going to click on it, click delete, hit yes, and that's it for that. Alright, and let's keep it moving here. The next thing is open up your file manager, go to this PC, and right click on your C drive where Windows 10 is installed. Click properties, and one thing you can do that's actually surprisingly does help is uncheck the box that says allow files on this drive to have contents indexed in addition to file properties. From here you'll hit apply, and apply changes to drive subfolders and files, hit OK, continue, and then ignore all, and let that run through until it's finished. Depending on how long you've had Windows 10, this might take a little bit. And basically all this does is allows you to search files and programs maybe like half a second faster. But essentially you really don't need it. You don't need another service running in the background. So I'm canceling it just for time's sake here, but definitely let that finish. So I'm going to cancel that out, and we're going to go down to, I actually like to disable the Windows updates, because I feel as though if it is running well, then they're really, I'd say the majority of the updates they put out, especially for Windows 10, actually end up screwing you in the long run. So, and that's seems to be the case. So what I'm going to do here is type in, we're going to go to settings, and we're going to go over to update and security, and we're going to go to, it's the first one, Windows Update, click advanced options, and then at the top it says choose how updates are installed. Now in here they don't really give you a lot. You can do notify to schedule restart, or choose how updates are delivered, that kind of stuff. So this is actually not going to help us at all, which is why we are going to go to the services center. So again, hold the Windows key, hit the letter R, type in services.msc, and click OK. And we are going to scroll down to Windows Update. And right here, we're going to right click Windows Update, hit Properties, hit Stop first, and then from here we're actually going to disable the Windows Update. Now, if you really are, if you really do prefer to hold on to all these new garbage updates that they put out, then by all means keep Windows Update. So, and excuse me if I'm talking low, it is a little bit late where I am right now. So let's wait for that to finish. Okay, and now we are back in here. Now where it says startup type, click disabled, hit apply, and hit OK. Alrighty. And the other thing, you can also look through your services, and as long as you know that you don't need something and it's not running on automatic, or it is running on automatic, then you can set anything you want as manual, or you can disable whatever you want. So for instance, even though this is manual, the Windows error reporting service, I'm going to do properties, and it's not started at the moment, but I'm going to disable it. I don't need to always send Windows all my any kind of errors that I get and so forth. So that's been disabled, and we can see that Windows Update has been disabled, and on a restart it actually will cease to run as well. So so you can go through the services and all that good stuff with you know, just searching through your list and seeing what you absolutely do not need whatsoever. Now, while this is stopping, I'm going to go over to programs. Type in programs in the search bar, and we're going to do right there. So I don't have a lot of programs installed, but if you go through your list and you see things that you know that you do not use, and if you're not sure what it is, always do, you know, some kind of Google search and see exactly what it is before you do remove it. So I'm clearing everything from this from driver booster and getting rid of that. I know this is a little old school, and the other thing I do not want is Google Drive. So, which I'll just get rid of that later. I'll just get rid of it right now. Yep. And we'll let that uninstall, even while Windows 10 Update is still stopping itself. So any unnecessary programs is always big. And the other thing is also, obviously, Windows 10, you have programs and you have apps. Now, from here, go to the start menu, and you can actually see, you know, certain apps that are already here. And if you see any that you really don't use, like for instance Twitter, I didn't install Twitter. It came with Windows 10. I can go through these different apps here. I can actually right click on Twitter and uninstall it. Uninstall. And so that'll save me space, as well as you know, speed up the computer a little bit. It'll uninstall on its own time here. Okay. Okay. Close. Close, close, close. Okay. So let's see here. So even in this like play and explore thing, we're gonna turn this live title off. Pinterest, I definitely don't use. Turn that live off. I don't have a lot of, this is a pretty fresh install, so I don't have a lot of apps installed on here. But you see Twitter is gone now. Anything else that is, so this was installed on here as well. I'm going to uninstall uh, whatever the hell game that was, Candy Crush or whatnot. So now we're slowly getting rid of apps as well. So going through programs, we've gone through apps, all that good stuff. The next thing is Windows Defender. Now it comes installed as a default with Windows 10. So I'm going to open this up, Windows Defender, and I'm going to go to Settings, and it says if you have a good internet security program, you do not need Windows Defender running. So I'm going to turn off Windows Defender altogether. Disable the automatic sample submission, and all that good stuff. So see you later. And so let's go back to hit the Windows key and the letter R, go back to services.msc, and let's go down to Windows Defender service, and we're going to, I guess we can't do it from here. Let's see. Okay, it is stopped, so we're good. We are good. Okay, excellent. So Windows Defender is disabled, which is fantastic. And then we're going to go old school again and go to File Manager and go to this PC, go to the C drive, right click, Properties, and there's two things that you can do in here that you've been able to do for years now. But the one is running a defrag, which it basically checks the hard drive for inconsistencies and fixes them, basically allowing the computer to run a little bit quicker. So you can always do the optimizing here. On your C drive, just click optimize. It might take a little bit, but let it finish. You will notice a difference. The next thing is in the general tab is doing a disk cleanup. Again, this one may take a little bit, but definitely let it run and let it go through what it needs to go through. So disk cleanup, temporary files, anything in here you really don't need. So I'm just gonna see you later, delete files, get some space back, and get some speed back as well. So those are definitely some methods that you can do to increase the performance. Once you restart the computer, you'll notice, you should notice at least a 20 to 30% increase in your speed after restarting. And then the last thing I just want to suggest are two programs to definitely have. One, as far as one is CCleaner. I used to call it CCleaner, but it's CCleaner. And this thing is fantastic. It releases so many, just click, I'm hitting run cleaner and do not show me this message again. Continue. This cleans up so much garbage on the computer. It doesn't matter what it is. The cleaner is incredibly reliable and will absolutely help jumpstart your computer a little bit. So that's the cleaner tab. And if you go over, let's see here. I'll leave that alone. We'll go to registry. We'll do scan for issues. And as soon as that's finished, do fix selected issues. And when it asks you want to make a backup, just click yes and save the backup to somewhere, hopefully you won't forget. Um, but to be honest with you, you're not really going to need it. So I've never had to use the backup, but so CCleaner backup, save, okay, fix all selected issues, issue fixed, okay. This also will give you a detailed list. Okay, so this is where CCleaner comes in handy with with all the different apps as well. So if you want to go through, besides the actual programs like Malwarebytes and so forth, you want to go through the actual apps and say, hey, I really don't need that app. So if we go to the Xbox app, which I'm definitely not going to use, I can click uninstall, hit OK, and CCleaner will do the trick. So, anything else that you're definitely not going to use, because Windows 10 does install a lot of crap on here as well. So we're just going through the list, getting rid of all the apps. So it puts all the apps and the programs into into one pretty organized list here. So getting started, uninstall, okay. So we were actually clearing up, a decent amount of space, and this is just another way to get rid of, you know, programs and services that are starting up in the background. So CCleaner is a fantastic, fantastic program to hold on to, and it's free. So close that out. Make sure it's closed. And the next one is the one internet security program that I've recommended in the past is Komodo with a C. But if you do not have that yet, and let's say you want to do a thorough scan on your computer for any viruses, malware, any suspicious files whatsoever, Malwarebytes is fantastic. It's been around for quite a while now, but the scan that it does is so thorough and fantastic. So, but as we can see, I think that was something that I disabled. So let me re-enable that real quick. So I'm going back in the msconfig and Malwarebytes. Okay, okay. Well, anyway, and I'm trying not to keep the video so long. So if anything comes up for Malwarebytes, you don't have to disable it. I just installed it just to at least show you that it is an excellent program to have. So, but I don't want to waste any more time here. So we're going to do one last thing. Okay, I got Malwarebytes running. It wasn't Malwarebytes, it was my fault. When you do a scan now, it'll update before the scan and let it run through whatever it finds. Always remove it, no matter what. Yeah, so that's Malwarebytes. Definitely good to have. So I'm going to quit Malwarebytes if I can. Yeah. And then, like I said at the beginning, after we've done all these changes, we are going to go to back to system. We're going to go, we'll type in system, and we'll go to control panel. This, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go to control panel. Okay, so once we are in Control Panel, we're going to go to System and Security. We're going to go to System. We're going to go back to System Protection. And so this is after we've done all of our changes. We're going to create a system restore point called after changes. And you can even date it if you want, whatever it is. And then hit create. And after that, restart the computer and see how it's running. So, like I said, these are just um, some really quick, um, behind the scenes working with the operating system to increase your computer's performance altogether. Some of the things like the defrag might take a while, the unindexing of the hard drive and so forth. But if you go through step by step, and even if you have to pause the video, do all of the things that I've suggested, and I guarantee you, you will see quite a difference once you restart your computer. Thank you very much for watching. I tried to keep it as short as I could. Um, and there we go. So I will see you guys in the next one. Later.